Good morning everyone. Welcome to Market Voice. In this series, we are trying to make an attempt at understanding important warfield strategies and seeing how relevant they are to our today's trading activities. These war treaties were written some 2500 years back by a very great Chinese warrior by name SunTzu in his book The Art of War, which contains about 13 chapters with innumerous wisdom on various strategies, on planning, on discipline, on anticipating the enemy moves, all of those things. In yesterday's discussion, we saw about deception, how sometimes it becomes important to give a different picture of ourselves to confuse the enemy and then conquer the enemy. We also saw in our case here for trading activities, we cannot deceive anyone because it is all electronic, it is all online, but the big players do try to deceive the smaller uninformed traders or investors through various tactics, which we should be protecting ourselves from. So here in our current scenario, we discussed we should not try to make any attempt at trying to deceive the market. Instead, we should know what are all the pitfalls the markets poses for us and then accordingly navigate and understand those pitfalls. That was about deception yesterday. Today we talk about in-depth planning. In the very first chapter, SunTzu says in his 26th treaty, the general who wins a battle makes many calculations in his mind before the battle is fought. The general who loses a battle makes but a few calculations beforehand. Thus, do many calculations lead to victory and few calculations leads to defeat. It is by attention to this point that I can foresee who is likely to win or lose. Very clear. When you are planning, what is that you are planning? You need to envisage what are all the scenarios that might come up and then what is your plan of action if that kind of scenario emerges. That is your planning. Very much relevant to our trading also. In trading, we don't know what the market does, but we know or we can only think of few of the scenarios what the market might do. Like for example, when the market opens, we know either the market will go up or the market will go down or the market will just stay in sideways movement, or market might go up and then come down or might go down and then go up sharply. So these are all the scenarios that are there for us to think beforehand. When SunTzu says make all types of calculations beforehand in your mind, what he actually means is what are all the enemy possibilities. He should think of the terrain, he should think of the resources, he should think of the enemy's strategies, because enemy is also not keeping quiet, enemy also will come up with his own set of strategies. So here in our trading scenarios, we need to keep in mind what the market might do. What will it do? We don't know, but if market goes up, we should know what we should be doing. If the market goes down, then we should know what we should be doing. If we prepare ourselves for the anticipated moves that comes in future, then it becomes that much more easy if that move really happens. While at a certain stage, if you think there is a breakout level at some particular point. So if you know that particular point and if you say I will enter there, then you have, like, you will not worry about if the market doesn't go up to that stage. If the market keeps going down, then you have no trade at all. You can be protecting your capital because you wouldn't have traded in a hurry to buy or sell, anticipating that it will move up or down. So beforehand you need to do the calculations. SunTzu's point of view here in this case is do all types of calculations beforehand. How many other scenarios if you can think, and if you can prepare yourself for those scenarios, then it becomes easier if that scenario emerges. You know very well, like, your strategy, you might decide if the market is in sideways move, then I will not do anything. So it becomes easy if the markets are in sideways. If the market goes up, then at that particular point I will buy. So you will trade only at that particular point. That way you should know the scenarios. In trading, you should know what the market might do. You don't know exactly what the market will do. Nobody, for that matter, nobody will know for sure what the market will do next. But you should know what will you do if the market does certain things. If you are prepared for those scenarios, then it becomes that much more easier for you to be in the game and eventually win the game. Trading is no lesser a battlefield. So the way you think in battlefield, you have to also have to strategize yourself and think accordingly even in the trading battle. We will see one more information tomorrow. Until then, Om Swasti.